Hello and welcome back. As with Phase 1, this will be a brief orientation to using Phase 2 of the engagement framework, planning the customer engagement. We'll cover why this phase is important, the inputs, outputs, steps in the phase, the tools and resources that will be available to you, and we'll try to answer any questions you may have. Additionally, we will take a brief look at the Phase 2 portions of the learning platform and the account planning support system so that you can see how they're constructed, how to navigate them, and what resources are available there. So let's look at where you are. Well, this is where you are. You're at Phase 2 of the engagement framework. So let's look at some of the things that are important for you to keep in mind here. In this phase, you will use a structured planning process to ensure that you and your team are ready to conduct a highly successful meeting and be able to manage any unexpected variances so that you ultimately accomplish your goals and objectives for the meeting. What happens here? Well, you will think through what kind of expertise you need and develop an appropriate team. You and the team will determine what information will be most helpful and gather that information. You will identify questions you can expect to be asked and develop questions to ask the customer. And you will review this plan with your coach and manager for feedback and improvement. Why bother planning for the meeting? Well, careful planning and thinking through all the potential contingencies will enable you to handle unexpected occurrences competently and still accomplish your objectives. Here's some thoughts to keep in mind. Thoroughness is critical here. Try to anticipate all the customer's questions and concerns. Planning is not a one-time pass. Really good planning is iterative. You will want to review and revise this plan several times. Make sure that you utilize the knowledge and expertise of your team in order to improve the quality of the plan. These are some of the outputs from Phase 2. You will find a complete list of the outputs of planning on both the learning platform and the support system. But among them are these. Additionally, you will see that all of the outputs are laid out in the meeting planner. The meeting planner, as we've said before, is the core document and thinking structure for this process. Remember that outputs are the set of materials and tools that are the result of the work you do in this phase, and that they are typically used as inputs for the next phase of the process. Now let's talk about inputs. Inputs for Phase 2, well, your account plan, of course. That is the bedrock foundation of all the work you do with your customer. Determining what type of meeting this is going to be will help you design and plan for it. Being clear about what the customer is expecting to get out of the meeting will guide you in developing a meeting plan that works for everyone. A thorough understanding of the customer's current situation and having appropriate customer information will serve to inform your planning process. Because thoroughness and completeness are so critical to planning, there are quite a few steps in Phase 2. All of them are enumerated in both the learning platform and the support system. Take your time and walk through the steps very carefully one by one. Each one is an important step to do. Let's talk about the resources that are going to be available to you in Phase 2. The first resource listed here is a worksheet developed to help you think through and determine who you want on your team for this engagement meeting. The second and third resources are ones that you saw in Phase 1. These are the meeting planner and an example of a well-developed meeting. The fourth resource is a guide for planning your discussion questions with a customer. This is a resource that you can find at HPI. When you click the link, you will need to scroll down the page looking for the resource by name. The remaining resource, of course, is this webcast designed to help you understand and navigate this process. All of these resources are available to you both on the learning platform and in the account planning support system. So now that we've talked about these systems, let's go back and revisit how to navigate. This is where you are. You are at planning the meeting. And this is what you're going to need to do. You need to download these resources, read them, review them, and use them as they are helpful. Once you and your manager have discussed your plan and it now works to both of your satisfaction, you will want to click this step and an email will be sent to your manager asking him or her to sign off that you have completed this part of the framework. This is where you'll be able to track your progress on this activity. Let's talk about the support system. The support system is where we showed you last time, which is at the bottom of the left-hand column. You can just click on it and it will open for you. As we said before, it opens in a separate window, so you can keep it open the entire time you're working on the program. Once you have completed this part of the framework to your manager's satisfaction, you will be moving on. And where you will be moving on to is prepare, the next phase in the process.